evolution of cities. The first cities emerged thousands of years ago in fertile regions, such as ArchEdu, Uruk, and Ur, which were formed in the historical region of Mesopotamia approximately 7,500 BCE between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers. There were several towns and cities. As humans started to produce crops and build settlements, cities also developed around the Nile River in Egypt, the Indus River Valley on the Indian subcontinent, and the Yellow or Huang River in China. Because of the abundance of food, people were able to abandon their nomadic way of life as hunters and gatherers thanks to agricultural development in these rich regions. Choosing to settle near waterways also provided a crucial transit network that aided in trade. Cities kept expanding during the following millennia in terms of population, area, and importance. Some of the major cities in the world have expanded steadily for several hundred years, while others seem to grow quickly. The major cities of Mesopotamia, which were once among the world's most populous, no longer exist, and the population of smaller cities has decreased. For instance, Rome, Italy, had over 1 million residents in the 1st century BCE, making it the biggest metropolis in Europe. But, by the Middle Ages, just 20,000 people remained there. These are the outliers. The majority of cities around the world are expanding, some at previously unheard of rates. Cities have always attracted people because they are hubs for trade, culture, education, and economic opportunity, but the population growth that has resulted has not always been consistent. Urbanization is a relatively new phenomena. Prior to the last few decades, most people lived in rural areas. For instance, in 1800 CE, rural areas were home to more than 90% of the world's population. According to the United States Census Bureau, more than 94% of Americans resided in rural areas in 1800. By 1900, this proportion had fallen to 60%. The Industrial Revolution, which started in England in the middle of the 18th century and later moved to the United States and other parts of Europe, was a major contributor to the growth of cities. As industries expanded as a result of the Industrial Revolution, there was an urban labor shortage. Millions more individuals in the United States and England relocated from fields to cities during the course of the following century. Other parts of the world also urbanized as a result of industrialization. The population of London, England, increased from 1 million in 1800 to over 6 million a decade later, in large part due to the Industrial Revolution. And this second Industrial Revolution accelerated urbanization in the United States within a few decades, causing the New York City metropolitan area to surpass all other cities in the world in terms of population by 1950. New technologies, particularly those that allowed cities to rise vertically, have also contributed to the growth of the urban population. Skyscrapers were made possible by steel innovations, allowing for higher population densities. Of course, skyscrapers could now transport people to their apartments and offices in the sky thanks to the introduction of the elevator. According to experts, more than half of the world's population already resides in cities, and by the year 2050, that number will have increased to about 2/3. Natural increase, or births to people already residing in cities, as well as the ongoing movement of people from rural to urban regions in quest of better opportunities account for a large portion of this expansion. A new sort of metropolis, known as a megacity, which is characterized by having a population of more than 10 million, has emerged as a result of urbanization in recent years. The world's first megacities emerged in the 1950s with the metropolitan areas of New York City and Tokyo, Japan. By 2018, there were 37 megacities worldwide. While North America and Europe had the biggest cities during the Industrial Revolution, today's fastest-growing cities are in Asia and Africa as a result of industrialization. Tokyo is the largest urban area in the world as of 2019. Delhi, India, has over 30 million citizens. There are metropolitan areas in Shanghai, China, Mexico City, Mexico, and São Paulo, Brazil, with population over 20 million. The development of today's cities must be understood while looking into the future. By 2030, the United Nations projects that there will be 41 megacities. India currently has 5 cities with metropolitan areas of more than 10 million people, and by 2030 that number is anticipated to rise to 7. You might be surprised to learn that some of the megacities are located in unexpected places, including Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Kinshasa is already a megacity with a population of 11.6 million, but demographics and growth patterns indicate that it may soon overtake some of the biggest cities in the world. Cities in Africa and Asia are striving to meet the needs of quickly expanding populations, just as rapidly expanding cities in England and North America battle to do so throughout the industrial era. Around 2/3 of the 12.6 million residents of Lagos, Nigeria, the largest city in Africa, reside in slums. Due to high birth rates rather than migration to the city, the population is still expanding. Despite the negative effects of rapid population growth, which range from slum expansion to increased traffic congestion, the population of the world's megacities is still rising. That's the short journey towards understanding the evolutions of cities around the world. Stay tuned for more upcoming excited videos. Thank you.